Hi everyone, and thanks so much for joining in. It's been a little bit, but I wanted to get to you and share some ideas for the March paper pumpkin kit. It's taken me a little bit while longer to get these put together than normal because, there's this thing called life. But for those of you who have not put your kit together yet, I wanted to get these ideas out to you and hopefully give you some inspiration for what to do with your kit. So, Paper Pumpkin is an all-inclusive kit, comes to your mailbox once a month for the low price of $22. That includes the shipping. It includes stamps, ink, paper, and all the supplies you need to put your kit together. So let me show you first what came with this month's kit, and then we will look at it up close with the projects that were already designed. We'll also look at quite a few alternative card ideas that I created for you. So this month's kit is called Here's to You, and I really like that this one it's very different than normal, the style of it, and some people love that. Some people, it's not their style, but I love that Stampin' Up! Switches up the style so we get a lot of different things. I chose to make these cards. I think they would be good for anybody really, men, women, but I decided to do a lot of mine with a graduation theme because I like the outdoorsy adventure type theme with, going along with graduation and all their dreams and where they're going to go in life. So here's what we got with this month's kit. Here are the two card designs that were created, and the instructions were to create these two cards. So this one, the card base came already printed with this scene on the front. And this one came with the plain card base, but then you got this printed piece right here. Now, in addition to the big printed pieces, we get the fixings for these adorable envelopes. So we have the craft colored envelope, and then the insert pieces come separate so that you can slide that piece into the envelope. And then what I did, I just lifted up the paper right here, ran some adhesive across there, and put it right back in place. So you get your envelopes, your card bases, you get enough for 8 cards, and all of these die cuts. So we have tree die cuts. I really like these for making scenes. Here are some of those pre-printed card front pieces that I did not use for the cards that I've created so far. We have several little die cut tags that we can stamp on or just use for decoration. We have this is the best part of this month's kit, in my opinion, are these stencils that I'm going to be able to keep and use on other projects in the future. So this stencil has several different shapes we can use for mountains, and even the snow-capped mountains up here. If you use white, you could add the snow caps with that part of the stencil. We have the clouds, and I'll show you how I use some of these on my projects here in a minute. The stars and the sun's rays. I love this one. Here's a quick tip on how to use this one. On this side, I grabbed my multi-purpose glue and I put just a tiny little droplet. Looks like I have a straggler on my glue. Put a tiny little droplet on each of these tips right here because I knew when I was using this with either a sponge or a blending brush, these pieces were going to move all around. So I put a little bit of glue on each end, let that dry. Then I could lay this on my card, push it down in place, and it held right where it was supposed to be, and those did not move around. So you could actually do that on the back side of your entire stencil, different spots if you wanted to. I just did it on this one because I knew holding those pieces in place was going to be a problem. So you get the stencils, you get a sponge, so you can cut this into wedges. I would normally cut one of my sponges into 6 wedges, but now that I have my blending brushes, I used my blending brushes for these. With the masks or the stencils, we get some twine. We get our color of the month for ink was Calypso Coral. And here's the stamp set. So we have evergreen trees, some nice flowers or foliage, 2 little tiny birds, and then some nice greetings. All the best for a happy, healthy, and prosperous year. Here's to you. Congratulations. Happy birthday. And may your journey through life take you to many new in exciting places. So I'll show you here how I use these. You also get your adhesives, of course. So it's really a great value for $22, including shipping to you. So like I said, here are the 2 cards that were designed to go along with the kit. Now, Stampin' Up! And myself, all of us realize that you may not want to do exactly what the kit is designed for. So on the back side of the instructions, we have some alternative ideas. And then you can also go to Stampin' Up's Paper Pumpkin page and a few other places to find alternative ideas. So let me give you some alternative card ideas right now. Here is one. I use that pre-printed card base. I just added one of the trees in the front, and it's going to be a little bit tough to see, but can you see the clouds at the very top? I used a blending brush and my white ink in that cloud stencil. Can you see that? Probably just barely. To add clouds at the top, and then I added the greeting and the little birds. So this is a very simple alternative. Here is one. I used that same card base and the sun's rays stencil. Stuck that stencil right on there, and I used some Calypso Coral ink with my blending brush to add the rays up at the top. I thought that looked pretty neat. Then I used the one stamp to add the foliage down here at the bottom. Added a little congratulations stamp, and that one was done. Now here's my last example using one of those card bases. I actually trimmed that printed piece off of the card base and put it onto one of the other card bases just for something a little bit different. Stamp the greeting, add a little bit of that twine and a couple of the little tags, and there's another one. Now let's look at an example with that other pre-printed piece that goes onto the Pretty Peacock card base. I took one of those and I actually trimmed it into quarters. So trimmed it in half this direction, trimmed it in half this direction, and then just added that little greeting on top. So that's pretty simple, but it changes it up a little bit. And now let's look at 2 samples where I used those stencils in different ways. Here is one. I used the star stencil first with my white ink and a blending brush. Now, if you're going to use white ink with a blending brush, you're going to want to rinse it out afterwards. With most of my ink colors and my blending brushes, I do not. I keep one brush for greens, one brush for reds, etc. And I don't clean them out afterwards usually. But with this white, you're going to want to clean it out so that the white doesn't gunk up your brush and glue all those bristles together. So I use the white blending brush and my star stencil to add the stars. Then I used the tree stamp in the stamp set, and I added all of these trees down at the bottom. Stamped my greeting, added a little bit of twine, and that is that card. And here is one more example for how to use those stencils and how to use the tree die cuts in a little bit different way. So I used the mountain stencil to create the mountains in the background. Then I used these tree die cuts. I flipped them over because they were designed to use them with the Pretty Peacock side up, but I decided to change it up a little bit. We'll use the white side, make it look like snowy trees. And then I just added a few of those birds in the background and a greeting. So I hope this gives you some ideas for the March Paper Pumpkin Kit. A little preview of what is coming in April. If you're signed up for Paper Pumpkin by April 10th, you can get the April kit as long as it doesn't sell out sooner. Occasionally they do sell out sooner. But I'm really excited about the April kit. It looks super cute and super summery and fun and pretty and bright and happy. And this is the first time Stampin' Up! Has ever tailored a kit towards kids. So think about all the kids in your life, whether it's your own or your grandkids or neighbors or friends' kids, nieces, nephews, whoever it is. Think about all those kids in your life who either love to craft or you think would love to craft. And you could either get one of those kits and complete it with them. You could get one of those kits and give it to them. You can also gift subscriptions to people. So you could get a subscription and send it straight to them. So if you're interested in more information about that, please let me know. Like I said, these are just $22 a month and you really get a lot. Then you have your stamps and your ink and your leftover supplies that you can use with future projects. So thanks for joining in. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you again next time.